All right. Three, two, one. We're live. How are we doing this evening?
Good evening.
This is Justin and Alicia on the Justin and Alicia show here, and we're excited to be with you. We want to come and kind of share a little bit what's going on in our life and family, and just, this is a live show, whatever we have going on. We honestly don't have any real plan as far as, like all our weeks spelled out of what topics we want to talk about. It truly is something that we've decided that we want to do to be able to kind of help share with people about what we're doing, what we're after, what we're learning, and hopefully encourage you that we're in the trenches, you're in the trenches, and we're all learning concepts that we need to know in order to succeed. Mm-hmm. And so tonight we're going to talk about a concept that we've really been in the trenches on, and that we've been putting to practice ourselves. And so it's something that we can say, it works. And this is something that anyone can do, and that's the exciting thing.
It is.
Right?
That's right.
And it's something that is another one of those concepts, I guess, as I have been on this journey of trying to succeed and be an entrepreneur, business owner, be above average, take risks, try to do extra things that others aren't willing to do, is I keep thinking that it's some big special thing you got to do, or something that's magic. Really hard, or some magic potions, or some, But the fact of the matter is, they keep going back to, and you hear it, it's the small, basic little things that, like one book that I love called The Slight Edge, it talks about that it's so easy to do, but because it's so easy to do, it's so easy not to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you get caught up in you're looking for the big things, like, little things.
And so, for the most time, we don't stay consistent with the things that we're supposed to be doing, we should do. And so we don't really get a benefit from the results of it.
Mm-hmm. Compound effect, that would be another.
Yeah, compound effect. And so we're excited to be here. Hope you're having a good week. This is a Monday, so hopefully we got off with a bang and blast. Mondays are always fun. And, typically Mondays are dreaded. And, I've been trying to work on making Monday, something the day I look forward to. Mm-hmm. Fresh start, fresh opportunity to get going and start strong and to accomplish things. So far it's been a good Monday.
Yeah.
It's been full of adventure and surprises, but it's been good. I'm excited. And I love now the fact that I still have, the rest of the week to keep moving forward on.
That's right.
And stuff. So,
we started with small things today.
Yeah, the small things. So here's the concept we want to talk about. We just want to dive right into this thing. Confidence. Confidence has been one of probably my biggest struggles, and still is a struggle. And stuff, but I've been starting to see a correlation through what we're going to talk about tonight, and being able to actually gain a confidence that I haven't had before, and to be able to actually see myself in action. Catherine, how you doing?
Catherine,
good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for watching us here tonight. Daniel, good to see you here. And so, what is confidence? What builds confidence? I mean, there's just books on it. You can talk about it, all this stuff. But I like simple. I like practical. I like something that is available for everyone. It's not something that just you have access to in certain cultures or countries, or, in elite, you have to have money to have it or whatever. I mean, you could say, to build confidence, you need to go pay for all this high dollar schooling, and you need to go, whatever it is. Do something that most people can't do, get certified. And yeah, that's an aspect of it. But you know what true confidence is? Confidence, here's a definition I like that I was going to read. True confidence comes from a belief that I can do the necessary work to be great in my business, my personal life, and with my fitness, or whatever it is. It's a belief. It's a personal belief that you can do something. But it's more than that. It's not just a belief. It's actually, because you can sit there and have affirmations, you can do all this stuff and still be a freaking mess and be afraid and not wanting to take action. What causes us to actually take action? And so I think that's the stage that we miss out on. A lot of people, they have they read the books, they have the affirmations, they get the budgets, they get the schedule, they get all this stuff. I've got vision board all over my walls. I'm sitting here in my office. I've got all kinds of stuff.
You get a sneak peek sometime.
I've even got, papers of our, Alicia and I put together our family plan that we do every year, that we, against our big goals, our breakdown of little goals, and our daily and quarterly and all that kind of stuff. And so you can have all that stuff, but what really gives you confidence? And here's a secret. I love the way Ed Mylett said it in his book. He said in his book, Max Out Your Life. And I just want to read it straight from his book here because this is such a key principle that I've been grasping it and putting in action, and I have seen my confidence soar that I haven't seen before. He said, I built the reputation with myself over time, and that is what has built genuine confidence. He said he built a reputation with himself of actually following through with what he told himself he was going to do, or what he believed in. And so that's the secret right there. If you don't believe in yourself or in your own cause, how are you going to do it or get anyone else to do it? That's one reason why most people even notice that they don't have confidence, is because they really want to step up and make a stand and be a leader or stand up for, to help encourage or go against the crowd or something, something that's out of the norm. They want to be, a pace setter. If you're just going along with the flow, guess what? You don't need confidence because you're just going to go along for the ride. Mm-hmm. But if you want to take a stand for anything, if you want to be somebody, if you want to be a leader, or if you want to make real change, then you have to have confidence. You have to have some core belief, some core mindset, and a strong ability to actually, in a sense, support yourself. And it comes down to you're supporting yourself because you're going against all the flow of the crowd around you. Of course, your goal is to be, surround yourself with people or support that's going to help you and make you stronger, and that helps. But what happens when you find yourself all alone? What happens when no one else is around you? Mm-hmm. You have to have an inner core. And when I grasped that whole concept that I have everything I need as an individual, as a person, to succeed and to, be the best me. And then another concept that I really love, I'll tell you, you need to go out there and read books. You need to read books. You need to surround yourself in truth. That is important, but you got to act on it. Okay, you got to act on it. But one of the concepts that I learned in the 10X rule by Grant Cardone is I love his whole concept. He talks about don't compete with those around you. Don't get the mindset that I'm out to compete. Get the mindset that you want to dominate, that you're going to dominate. Because see, if you compete, then you're always looking around you. You're comparing your what you do, what you haven't done, who you are, who you aren't, your goals, your progress with everyone else around you, and that makes you dependent upon them for whether you feel like you're succeeding or not. That makes you dependent upon them by whether they like what you're doing or not. And a lot of times, you're going to change what you do depending upon what they're doing or what they say or what they start, changing. And so, but if you figure out who you are, your cause, and if you figure out, what your goal is and what's your passion and what's your anything, what is your belief, your brand, who you are, and then you just focus on that and you just dominate that and not worry about anyone else around you, then you're going to find that you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You're going to become a leader, a winner. You're going to be, setting the pace, and you're going to be truly being able to be that confident person. But it comes from a core belief, it's a core confidence. Catherine said, building a reputation yourself. I know. All right, way to go, Catherine. You can do this. And so here's the thing, the concept I want to kind of help illustrate this. The idea is that if you see a lot of confident people, we're talking about confident people are ones that have built a reputation with themselves, that they believe themselves, because that they trust themselves, and that's what's so hard. But that's why it's important to have a schedule. That's why it's important to have goals. That's why it's important to have disciplines, small little disciplines that seem like they don't mean anything. Because, if you can demonstrate to yourself that you can trust yourself by all these small little wins, that just is like the little bricks that build up that confident foundation that will truly give you what we call confidence, that, what people see. Other people, when we step forward and stand up in front of the giants, or we stand up in front of a huge crowd, or we stand up against, out where someone says, "Oh my God, you are so bold or confident," but they don't. That's what they see, but they don't see all the little ways that we built that confidence.
That's right.
Behind the scenes, how we got up in the morning, We read our 10 pages or our chapter of a book. You know, we said our affirmations. We had our quiet times. You know, we did what we knew we were supposed to do. We told what we told ourselves to do. We worked out. You know, and we did it consistently. We didn't just do it one day and that's it. And so I've seen for myself. I've seen a pattern as I've been watching this and working on this. The times that I find myself sliding and not being consistent in my daily, goals, my daily habits, that's when I start seeing my confidence start to dwindle. I see my confidence kind of slide, and before you know it, I feel like, I don't. Who am I to go after this big, real estate deal, or who am I to take on this big opportunity? Who am I to volunteer for this? Who am I to lead this or do that? And why all of a sudden do you feel like, you can't do it? Well, because all of a sudden you're remembering all the little ways that you didn't get up. You didn't make your bed. You didn't work out. You knew you were. And so each one of those is just like pulling you down. And so
you didn't hold up to yourself,
yeah,
your own standards,
you're like, say, how is anyone else going to believe me if I don't even believe myself? What it comes down to. And that's a very sad place to be in, but let me tell you, it's also a very awesome realization to be in, because guess what? It's not dependent upon anyone else around you. It's not dependent upon if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's winter, if it's summer, if you're inside, if you're outside, if you're if someone else, there's been many times that my wife has gone, worked out early in the morning. She's more of an early workout person. I'm more of an afternoon, evening kind of workout person. But anyways, she's gone many times and came back and told me. I'd say, how'd it go? She's like, I was the only one, but it went good. And, but she did it. But she was confident. Yeah. And it even built her more when she saw that she was the only one and no one else showed up. I mean, if you're not a confident person, then you're going to be, who you are is going to be dependent upon who else is all there. And so if no one else shows up, then all of a sudden, if you have the wrong perspective, you're going to feel like even less confident, or like, oh my goodness, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. Or if you're comparing yourself, why is no one else doing it? I must be doing something wrong. When it could be that the very fact that you're the only one there could be that you're doing something right. And you should embrace that and be excited about it and keep doing it, and then you'll bring the people in. And they'll start seeing you, and they'll say, also they'll see you when you actually grow into this big, confident, bold leader, and they'll say, where did you come from? And you're like, well,
overnight success.
Overnight success.
No.
Years of small little, being consistent to work out, to get up, have a quiet time, or, read, plan. And so that's what I've been honestly working on myself, is get back into my planning for the next day, get my the 5 important main things, and prioritizing and stuff. And as I have focused on, like I said, as I see myself focused on doing these little things, all of a sudden I find myself wanting to take bigger steps of action, wanting to reach out and take bigger leaps, or get involved in bigger things that before I would just tremble in my boots about, and stuff. So it comes down to this, what do you know that you need to do, and you're not doing it? We all know. We don't need to, we don't need someone to tell us. We all know. That we know right now. I guarantee that if you think right now, if I say, what's one thing that you know you should be doing that you're not doing, that something's going to come to your mind. And all I say is, start there. Just do it. Do that one little thing. I love this little quote over here I have on my wall. It says, if you don't know where to start, well, here's some ideas. Start by doing 1 push-up. Start by drinking 1 cup of water. Start by paying towards 1 debt. Start by reading 1 page. Start by making 1 sale. By deleting 1 old contact. By walking 1 lap. Start by attending 1 event. Start by writing 1 paragraph. Start today and repeat tomorrow. That's all it is. Just start. And guess what? Every time you do any little thing, I don't care how small it is, anytime you do one little thing that you know you should do. And let me tell you one thing. You probably all know this, but let me just make sure that you're aware that we all know, and it's for real, and that it happens to all of us, is that it is never convenient. Honestly, if it's something good for you, you'd never feel like, I wouldn't say never, because you never say never, right? But for most of the time, you don't feel like doing it. Or there's always a reason why you shouldn't, it's an excuse. And a lot of times, guess what? We can easily tell ourselves why we could probably miss this one and do it tomorrow. Like we can just start next week. I'm the worst about I'm like, crap, this week started off wrong. And so I'm just going to kind of skate through this week, and guess what? I'm going to gear up, and next Monday, boom, I'm going to start then, and it's going to be great. I'll have it all fixed. Then next Monday comes along, I'm like, oh my word. Guess what? Next Monday and stuff. And I have found, in myself, I have tried so many times to try to create the right environment, the feeling, to get myself to do the things that I know to do. I mean, one example for me personally right now that actually has been working on slaying this giant today is I signed up, some of y'all know that I signed up for the Ironman next year. And it's a triathlon. And I don't know, honestly, I don't know why I did it now. It was like one of those things, a buddy messaged me like late at night, I was sitting there, and he messaged me and said, hey man, there's going to be Ironman in Roanoke next year. You're going to have the home court advantage. I'm going to be doing it. Why don't you do it? And of course, I'm like, cool, yeah, no problem. And so I was like, boom, sign me up. And kind of in my mind, cool, swim, biking. I kind of wanted to get better at swimming. I'm like the world's biggest doggy paddler. And I'm really good at dog paddling. But then, I thought it'd be probably good to give myself a goal or be forced to swim. And now it's literally sink or swim. I mean, it's dawned on me. It's like, this is real. This is like life and death. And so, but for some reason, I've had such a mental block of actually getting in the pool. Some reason, it's just so inconvenient. I think of myself, oh my God, you have to go change. You get all wet. And then you have to go change again. It's inconvenient. And I keep trying to fit in early or late or in the middle of the day. Trying to figure out the best times to do it, with all the rest of stuff I have going on. And finally, the only time I've been able to get it to happen is when I just, say, no, I don't care. I'm just going to go do it. And another thing was, I need to get the goggles. I need to get the little cap. I need to get a swim coach. Give me some pointers. I don't want to learn the wrong way, get the wrong muscle memory going, and be swimming sideways or something, holding the whole crowd back. And so, it's all these excuses. And so I was really feeling like a loser, honestly. I was feeling really bad, and that was like dragging me down in other areas of my life because I kept thinking about, you're a failure, you're a loser because, you need to be practicing swimming or biking or running, and you just haven't done it. And so I had purposely this last week, and even today, I was as I was swimming in the pool today, I was out there doing it. And am I struggling in the water? Yes. But am I trying different things? I'm learning to just, try working on the kicking and then the breathing, all the different things. Just get in there and start. And guess what? I feel so much better. I feel all of a sudden like, man, I can do this. Just because I did it. I started doing it. And now I know, I'm going to build on it. And, thank goodness I have about 9 months. I figure if you can build a kid in 9 months, I should be able to win be able to compete and finish an Ironman. But the fact of the matter is that you can set all the goals in the world. In fact, I'm all about setting big goals, big ones. But the thing is, if you set big goals, but you aren't even willing to do the small little steps on a consistent basis, then you're going to constantly feel like a failure. You're self-sabotaging yourself, right?
Yes.
And there's no, and ultimately you're not going to reach those big goals, and you're going to fail. If you feel like a failure, if you say you're a failure, then guess what? You're going to fail. It's just because
you're going to believe it.
That's what your body's thinking you're wanting it to do. That's what you're saying. And that's what you're acting. That's what you're, we all heard it. Your belief determines your behavior and stuff. So anyway, I want you to think about that. If you lack confidence, let me tell you a little way you can start this thing. Right now, purposely tell yourself that anything that you haven't done, that you knew you should have done, give yourself permission that you tell yourself that you decided not to do that, okay? You chose not to.
Right.
Boom, all right. For whatever reason, whether it's right or wrong, you chose not to, so guess what? You obeyed yourself. So that's your first step of building confidence. is you obeyed what you told it to do, what you tell yourself to do. Now I want you to start telling yourself something and do it. And if you have to start out with tell yourself to eat a bowl of ice cream, I don't care. Go eat the bowl of ice cream.
You will do.
Do something you know that you will do. And start showing yourself that you'll do it. And then start telling yourself to do other things that you know is the direction you're heading, who you are, your passion, your belief, your identity, and your big goals. And then start acting upon that. And let me tell you, if you'll start consistently doing that, it's not hard. In fact, it can actually be easy once you do it. But you have to choose in your mind to do it and then just act upon it. And I'll tell you right now, you need to act immediate. Mm-hmm. You got to act immediate on it. Mm-hmm. Because it's so easy to all of a sudden change your mind and start telling yourself something different. Right?
So we have, how many hours left in today? And then we have tomorrow morning. We'll start.
Yeah. And so think about it. So think about the more you do what you tell yourself to do, the more confident you will become. It sounds so simple, but it's so true. And those there's in the Bible there's some great examples of that, because we all have heard of David and Goliath, right? We've heard of David who went out there and stood in front of this big giant, and when everyone else around him, all the soldiers, all the guys that should have been out there, were all running for their lives and fearful and stuff. What gave David this confidence to actually go stand up in front of this big giant? He was this young kid. And he was definitely outmatched. It seemed like he should be even more so running for his life or hiding.
He had never killed a giant.
I mean, he'd never done this before. Mm-hmm. But what gave him the confidence to step out big and bold? That's the kind of things that all of us, we visualize in our mind that we're going to do. We're going to go out there and slay giants and be this, rescue people and stand up for a big cause and stuff. And why do we not find ourselves doing that? Or when the opportunities come, we shake in our boots, or we don't take the opportunity, or we don't step up to the plate. The fact of the matter was that the reason why David was willing to do it is because he even said it. He even told Goliath, the big giant, he said, I have killed lions, I have killed bears, out in the wilderness protecting my father's sheep. When no one else was watching, no one else was around, it was just me. It was just for myself. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just trying to dominate me. I was trying to be the best I could be where I was at, and I practiced like it was the real deal. And so I've killed bears, I've killed lions, and you will be no different than either one of those. That's what gave him the confidence to step up and do the big public thing that, everyone on oohs and ahs, and they think, I want to be this big public, leader and make this big cause, be remembered and stuff. The only way you're going to be able to do that and do it and actually succeed or win is that you have actually done the small things that when no one's around consistently, and you basically convinced yourself that you're able, that you're going to succeed, that you're a winner, and that you can conquer. Basically, you can conquer yourself. I mean, if we can conquer ourselves, right, we can conquer anything.
Whatever. Yeah.
Nothing is bigger than ourselves. If we can dominate ourselves, we could dominate the world. Mm-hmm. And if you look at people that have actually dominated the world, you'll find that they were very successful at dominating themselves. They controlled themselves in such a way that they were able to that was an outflow of that whole mindset and that core strength. So that's our little talk for tonight for you to think about. So what areas do you lack confidence in? Or are you lacking confidence right now in your life in multiple areas? And I challenge you to look down inside, look deep, and say, what little things do I know I need to do that I haven't done or just won't do? And just start right there. And keep it simple. Keep it simple. And just start doing it and doing it as consistently as possible. And before you know it, you're going to see your confidence, and you're going to be just naturally reaching out and trying new and bigger. And then you're going to attract those kind of people around you, and opportunities, doors are going to open. And before you know it, you're in a whole new place, whole new level. And that's because you had to start. But you got to start right where you're at. Mm-hmm. And that's what I encourage you to do. Any other thoughts?
Maybe it seems overwhelming. Maybe there's a bunch of things that you haven't been doing that you know you need to do. and it's just overwhelming. So don't get overwhelmed by it. I would encourage you take one or two things, the top one or two things, and start implementing them tonight or tomorrow morning, whatever, is it morning or night that you need to start doing this, and just start like now, one or two things, and consistently do that for the next several days. And then once that's in place and you feel like, you've got that, then add one or two more things.
Yeah, exactly.
And just, it's little. It's little. Don't get overwhelmed by lots of little things either. Just take what you can and start showing yourself, start proving to yourself, because maybe you failed in all kinds of areas,
Yeah.
And so just those one or two, and then add one or two more, and things become habits, and all of a sudden you'll see this big snowball effect, a compound effect of all these things that came into play by just focusing on one or two and being really consistent, and then adding one or two more, and then on down. So
Yeah,
that's our encouragement. Just start.
Yeah.
And we would love to know if there's something in particular you want us to hold you accountable for, you'd like to share, this is what you want to start being consistent in, share it. Sometimes there's real value in and building confidence in saying, this is what I'm going to do,
Yeah, if you speak it, then you're more apt to do it.
Right.
Instead of just thinking it.
Right.
Actually state it. And that's why, we're encouraged, and for myself, I try to speak my affirmations or my goals or, my 5 things I'm wanting to get done. And then the next best step after speaking it is actually writing it down. And this is where I'm saying I'm struggling. I'm working on it for myself and trying to be consistent in doing these things. I'm more consistent in like stating or speaking, but when it comes to actually writing them down. But I'll tell you, there's nothing more awesome and more confident building than to actually go and look at your list of the things that you wrote down the night before or first thing in the morning, and then at the end of the day being able to check mark those things off. And it's like, wow, look at I won. It doesn't matter what it is. And so it's a visual. It's like it's your more of your body participating in it. And so anything you can do that just ingrains that win. It's a win. Anything that creates that win is going to help reinforce it and reinforce till we have multiple wins. Because let me tell you, what it comes down to is all your little small wins is what strengthens you and builds you to be ready for that big win that we're all longing for and looking for and wanting to be a part of. All right, so let's go ahead, let's build confidence, and let's get out there and let's stand and dominate us, and let's go dominate, and you can dominate. You know why? Because there's only one of you. You are the only one. You are the best you that there will ever be, because there is only you. So why are you comparing you with everyone else and who's around you? Go be you, and be you big, and dominate, and do it confidently, because you have an important purpose, you have an important message, you have an important mission that you are created for to get out there and do. And so don't waste time. Get out there and do it. Don't self-sabotage yourself. Don't let everyone around you create you into what they want you to be, and to use you to help them dominate themselves and dominate what they want and stuff. So, or
be intimidated by everybody else doing a better job, or they can do more, or they have more value, or they could do it better, or you be you.
Yeah, forget it. Don't compete. Dominate.
That's right.
All right. So thanks for following. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing, seeing your comments and just being challenged and encouraged by you, and help and support you in the little steps that you want to grow and be confident in and conquer, so you can be ready for bigger and greater things. So, all right, y'all have a good night.
Good night.
We'll see you next week.